Hey, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. This is your friend Sachin Rakra, and welcome to our channel Router and Switches Concepts. If you had not subscribed our channel, please hit subscribe button and click the notification bell icon with all.
Okay, so let's jump into the next topic. Next topic is basically virtual link trunking or VLT. VLT is basically Dell proprietary, uh, and you can get in open standard also. So what is VLT? Okay, VLT in normal behavior. Let me grab my pen. Okay, in normal behavior, we had seen that if two switches are directly connected, okay, the spanning tree comes into play, and if you have multiple links, it will create some issues. What type of issues? Spanning tree basically block one of the port, correct, and only one link will be used. So so to avoid that part and remove the spanning tree from the picture, actually we uh, open community has come up with that solution called VLT. So in VLT, what we will do basically, we will will configure both the side of the devices, and the outside world, or if any server, let's assume any server, it is connected here with the both the switches, it will to this server, it will looks like it is a single device, it's a single virtual device. So it basically, the control plane, data plane and control plane is basically merged in VLT. So all the MAC addresses, everything is basically synced between both the switches, so that whatever traffic it is coming from this box will know that what type of traffic it is coming and from what MAC it is coming, so that if 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 it if this box has to reply, it can reply easily. Okay, so with this concept, actually, first of all, you will be using both the links, first of all. Okay, whatever links you have. Okay, and other thing is basically to to create a high redundancy in your environment, actually, with that. Okay, so we'll see how we can uh, configure the VLT. Okay, what is VLTI? Okay, let me complete that part also. VLTI is nothing else, actually. There are two type of things. One is basically carrying all the traffic between both the switches, like MAC addresses, all the data traffic and other stuff. So we create VLT link. Okay, and VLTI means between these switches there is a hello packet. If this links goes down by any mean, both the links goes down, how these two switch will become to know whether they lost the connection. Okay, for their own communication, the VLTI communication only, they create a link called basically VLTI, and normally this links we normally create on management interfaces. Okay, so this is what VLTI. Okay, so let me clear this and we'll jump into our lab. Just give me a minute. Okay, so let's jump into the lab. Okay, so here is our lab. Okay, so how to create VLT? VLTI? First of all, creating a VLT, as I said, actually we need to configure a total 3 number of ports. Why 3 number of ports? Okay, so any VLT traffic which goes between two switches, it should be minimum amount of the speed is required is 10 gig. Okay, so for redundancy, we normally create 2 ports as a VLT port and 1 management port as a VLTI. Okay, so in our case, is management is already configured. Okay, so no need to worry about that. So what we have to do, we have to create only the management, sorry, the VLT port. And will how we can do that, actually? So it's pretty simple, actually. We have to configure VLT domain. Okay, so VLT domain, any number we have to give. Okay, VLT domain is there. So VLT, and then any number you can specify. There is no relevance of uh, similarity on both the devices. Prefer we prefer basically we should use we should use the same number so that we will not be facing any problem on that. Okay. So okay, after that, actually, what we will be defining, we will be defining a backup port or destination. Actually, what is backup destination? It's nothing else. You are basically pointing the VLTI interface or VLTI device IP address. So in our cases, we are on switch 2, we will be defining 192.168.1.1, which is switch 1. Okay. So switch 1 will be our VLTI backup destination or backup destination IP address. It will be keep sending the hello packets and getting that information whether the device is active or live or not. Correct? Okay. So the another thing what we have to define in this is basically the interfaces for VLT. Which interfaces will be the part of the VLT? It will not it will not include that switch ports or interfaces into normal routing or anything actually. So in our cases, we can define any port. Right now, nothing is connected to each other. I'm preparing another lab actually to get everything cabled and everything so that I can show you a live example and we can troubleshoot if needed. So right now I'm using 29 and 30 port for just for example. Okay, so 29 Ethernet 29, and you can define the next port also. Okay, so 30. Okay, so it says must be a switch port. So let's see what is the configuration on this port. If it is not a switch port, obviously we have to convert into switch port, and then we can enable this. Okay, so do show IP interface. We converted 29. No, I don't think so. Yes, we had not converted that. So interface. Okay, so this port is basically a switch port. So we have to remove this thing from switch port. Actually, we have to mention no switch port actually on this, so that it will act everything, layer 2, layer 3, everything. Okay, so we'll go into interface range, Ethernet. Okay, first of all we have to come out interface range, Ethernet 1 by 29 and 1 by 1 by 30. Okay, so no switch port. Okay, so we'll go into VLT again, VLT configuration again. Okay, so this is the thing we had configured. So we'll paste here again. Does not matter if you repeat that. So another thing is basically what we have to configure: discovery interface, Ethernet 1 by 1 by 29 hyphen 1 by 1 by 30. Okay, so now it is been accepted by the switch. Okay, why? It is because that switch port is basically is a routing port now. Okay, so another thing what we have to identify in these two switches, so the far end device, how it will be considered, which switch will be acting as a primary and backup. So for that we have to define the primary value or primary priority, I should say. So default value is 32768. So low the value is basically preferred. Okay, so I will configure on this basically 2, because I was planning to planning to consider this switch 2 as a secondary box and switch 1 as a primary box. Okay. Apart from that, we can assign some MAC addresses which will help the far end device to to see the device as a single device, okay, as a virtual device. So what we can do, we can define a dummy MAC address which should be similar or which should be same on both the boxes. Okay, so 1 2 3 4 and 5 6, correct? 5 6, yes. Okay, so this is how the configuration looks like of VLT. Okay, so priority it is taken, destination it is taken, interface it is taken, and MAC address it is taken. Okay, so we are good with this. So let's go into switch 1. Okay, so what we will do, we have to change the address, the backup destination address. So this address is basically for switch 2 and change the priority. Okay, that's it. So we'll do that. Okay, so show run VLT. So you can see it is configured, but the interface is not configured. Why? Because it says that it is not a switch port. So let me quickly change that. Ethernet 1 by 1 by 29 and hyphen 1 by 1 by 30. No switch port. Sorry, no switch port. Okay. So let's exit this and paste it again. 2 and 1. Okay. So if you see, it gives that Dell EMC FMI state up, interface admin up, VLAN 4094. Okay. VLT unit 1 is elected as a primary. Okay, this unit is elected as a primary actually. Whereas on switch 2, it will also say unit 1 is basically primary. Why? Because at that particular time, nothing was connected on that switch. The far end or other switch, the switch 1 does not have VLT configuration. But if you have a connectivity between both the switches, it will start electing that thing, and it will show you which one is basically active or secondary device in your scenario. Okay, so
Hope this video is informative to you and it will help you to learn your networking skills. If you had not already subscribed our channel, please hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon for all the notification of our new videos. Thank you.